Yo, so I first encountered the character of John Constantine in the Arrow Season 4 episode Haunted. Now, I knew that he had had a television series before he appeared there. I knew this had run for one season before being cancelled by NBC, but I knew that it had kind of developed a bit of a cult following. I didn't particularly know the character of John Constantine very well, but I knew enough. I mean, I knew that he had previously had a movie in either the late 90s or the early 2000s starring Keanu Reeves, which I think people regard as a cult classic. It's not necessarily the best DC film ever, but yeah. But the one that people mainly seem to talk about was Matt Ryan's portrayal from the show and his subsequent appearances. And yeah, that's why I personally think that the character had gained popularity. So I didn't know that much about him when he appeared in Arrow, but I knew enough, and he did steal the show. Frankly, he really did. So when it was kind of announced that he would be appearing in episodes of Legends of Tomorrow throughout its third and upcoming fourth season, I I kind of started to look into it. I mean, I I even when he started appearing in Legends, I even bought a Constantine comic just to get me up to date with it, get a bit more information about the character. But I also ended up getting his series. It was going for free on with Amazon Prime, which yeah, I tried it out, but I didn't have much incentive at first because, like most TV shows, starting off, I found the start a little slow. But once I got the DVD and actually started watching it through, getting some of the later episodes, I actually found it to be a really good show. Kind of, it it dealt with the kind of magic of the character and his overall demeanour, and it did it in a rather nice way. Yeah, as I said, the one thing, it was cancelled after the first season, but from that, now that he started appearing in the Arrowverse, instead of like Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, I kind of want him at least to mention what happened to some of the other characters. I mean, did Chaz go back to his family? Did Zed get together with Jim Corrigan? Or maybe even have them run into Manny? That'll be a nice touch. I mean, like I said, there aren't many DC Comics proper characters within the show, but there are one or two about the place. I mean, I even managed to find one that I recognise the name of. In about episode 10 of the series, they encounter the evil sorcerer Felix Faust, one who I haven't read much about, but I have encountered in other forms of DC media, such as DC Universe Online. Yeah, you encounter him at one point, and so yeah, I recognise the character, and it was kind of good to see them mixing a DC Comics character into the show. I mean, in terms of my favourite episodes, while I thought the ones towards the beginning of the series were a little bit slow, I think my personal favourites are episodes 8, 9, 10, and 11. The Saint of Last Resorts, part 1 and 2, in yeah, which is kind of like a two-parter where they have to go to a monastery in order to go save a baby from being taken by a monstrous creature. Which is quite fun to see. Quid Pro Quo, which delves into Chaz's past and see how he's, in a sense, got something like 31 or 32 souls. I mean, he can die 31 times. yeah, that's quite fun to see. And the other personal favourite of mine was episode 11, A Whole World Out There, in which four teenagers enter a demon realm of essentially a serial killer. And John and a friend of his have to enter into the serial killer's world to try and save the last remaining teenager. Three of them are killed, and they have to try and save the last one, which is, I think, it's a rather nice episode. I mean, as I said, I don't think it's the greatest TV series DC Comics has ever done. I mean, when you compare it to the rest of the Arrowverse, sort of like Batman the Animated Series or Teen Titans, this one might fall a little weak. So I can understand why NBC cancelled it if it was okay with getting the people who love the character, love the show, and not many other people. I can understand why they cancelled it. But at the same time, I'm glad that they chose to kind of continue on with the character. I mean, Matt Ryan as John Constantine. He isn't just limited to this show. And as I said, he's kind of made the leap into the Arrowverse. Kind of first of all with a cameo appearance in the Arrow episode Haunted, which is I think my favourite episode of that particular season of Arrow. But then he also appeared in Legends of Tomorrow, and he's even kind of made the leap into animated with kind of parts in kind of animated DC shows and movies, such as the animated Justice League Dark movie. So yeah, while Keanu Reeves technically got there first, I think Matt Ryan is John Constantine. I mean, he probably has done other roles in other shows, but this I think is a character that he does very well. Do I kind of wish there was more than one series of the show? Maybe, but you know what? It was a good show. I'm glad I saw it. I kind of want to see or hear what happened to some of the other characters. Like I said, Chaz, Zed, Jim, or Manny. But you know what? It's a good show. I mean, it was a good show, and I'm glad they've kind of brought Matt Ryan over into the Arrowverse. I think it's a good show. It's a good character. And as you, if you haven't seen it, I'd say give it a try. It may not grab you immediately, but I think it's a fairly good one. It had some great funny moments, some dark magic, some kind of really kind of gruesome scenes. But yeah, I think it's worth checking out. We'll have to see what Constantine will be up to with the Legends in the next series. Until then, see ya.